I'm Nigel Griffiths. I work in the Advanced Technology Centre in the UK, part of IVM Europe. In this IVM movie, we're going to look at physical adapters. We can put these into our logical partitions, but note this only works with the brand new Power 6 based machines. Let's take a quick look at the resources allocated to this third logical partition. Memory CPU, let's have a look at the Ethernet as a reminder. Here we see that we're using the host Ethernet adapter, one particular port on that. We're not using the virtual Ethernet adapter. Storage is via our VIO server. A single disk from the pool. If we look at physical adapters, the answer is we haven't any at all. So let's make a change to that now. First though, let's have a look at what the logical partition thinks is going on. We've logged on to this third partition and it's running AIX, so the lsdev command tells us about the adapters. Here we see the Ethernet port and the Ethernet adapter. We have a serial adapter here. This is the console port that we're actually using to display this information, and here's the virtual SCSI client adapter that's talking to our VIO server to get to our disks. Now let's go to View and Modify Physical Adapters. So here's a list of the adapters inside the machine, and here we have a fiber channel adapter that is currently assigned to the IVM partition. So let's click here and modify the partition assignment. We're going to move this from the IVM partition to LPAR 3. So it is now, and we have it in LPAR 3 as we expected. If we now go back to our partition, physical adapters, we can see it here. If we go to our logical partition and run that command again, nothing's happened. We need to run the configuration manager to pick up the new devices in the system. And now we find it's found our new fiber channel adapter, and it's been made available. I don't think we have any SAN disks attached to this adapter, but if there was, we could make those available and start using them immediately. So there are multiple ways we can connect up our client logical partitions to get to their networks and disks, and so we've got 4 diagrams here that we'll look through to make this clear. In this diagram we have on the left the IVM VIO server. It has adapters so it can get out to the physical network and the physical storage space. For Power 5 and Power 6 systems, the client logical partition can use virtual Ethernet and virtual disks to actually access these physical resources on the VIO server. For our Power 6 based systems, we also have the option of using the host Ethernet adapter, also known as the integrated virtual Ethernet adapter. This allows multiple client logical partitions to talk out through the ports physically built into the machine. This is an alternative to going out to the physical adapters on the virtual I/O server. Also, for our Power 6 based machines, we have this option of putting a physical adapter, as we've seen in this movie, into the client logical partition directly. These could be Ethernet or disk adapters, and so a client logical partition could be using these adapters to get to the outside world. So for our Power 6 based client logical partitions using IVM, they can use any of these mechanisms to get out to their disks and networks, or any combination of them. There's nothing here that will stop you using all of them at the same time, although that would seem rather complex. This makes for a very flexible environment and makes IVM very easy to live with.